We'd like to thank you for joining us this week at the Texas Automotive News Network as we've been putting some miles on the 2013 Volkswagen Touareg TDI Sport. Now this is the 5-passenger midsize SUV CUV offering from the team at Volkswagen that rolls on some nice 18-inch aluminum alloy wheels. So we've got some traditional Volkswagen mixed in with the new age technology such as LED daytime running lamps or the high density headlamps and a new all-wheel drive system. Now under the hood of the Touareg, there are now 3 power options that include a 3.6 liter gasoline engine. There's a hybrid, but we happen to be driving the 3.0 liter turbo diesel V6. Now for 2013, this engine's been bumped up from 225 to 240 horsepower, and with the 8-speed automatic that's now standard in the Touareg, the EPA says we should be targeting 29 miles per gallon on a highway run. On 2 runs down Interstate 10 at 70 miles an hour, we were able to do that. More importantly, we found that the 406 pound-feet of torque comes in at a lowly 2,000 RPM, which is going to provide plenty of low-end get up and go for our little SUV. We're looking at the interior of our 2013 Volkswagen Touareg, and we're going to find a 2-tone type or a 2-material type interior on the door panels and on the dash, as we've got the textured material across the top here. We've got some finished aluminum trim that separates it, and we get down into where we've got some nice touch panels for the areas where you're actually going to brush up against it. We're also going to find our side view mirror controls here, as well as the door locks close to up here where it's easy to see them, easy to get to them. They're not hidden down inside the door panel with the regular switches. We're going to come on across the dash. We're going to see the textured material continue, and as we find our light controls, as well as our reminder that we are in a diesel vehicle. Looking at our steering wheel, our multifunctional steering wheel, we'll find that we still got our thumb controls here for audio. We can run our cruise. We can use our digital support screen. That's all part of the gauge package, where we're going to find our 2 large sweeping gauges and the 2 smaller supplemental gauges. One thing that we found rather interesting is that the gauges sweep left to right, and when you crank it, it goes through its systems checks and it tells you all the good stuff. But the gauge for the fuel over here on the right hand side actually sweeps right to left, kind of the opposite. And when it's full, it's all the way to the right. When it's empty, it's to the left, versus the other gauges. Just strange, just something we noticed. We also have 3 levers here. We've got a windshield wiper lever on one side. We've got some controls for our headlights, as well as our speed controls down here on the bottom sector that provide us with some more easy to reach controls. Coming on across the dash, we're going to find a storage compartment at the top of the center stack. It's not real deep, not so deep you can't reach and pull things out of it. It does have an audio input, so it's got some material in there, so it's soft. Coming on down, we're going to find our touch screen, where we're going to have our audio controls for our Bluetooth, as well as our climate controls. If we have the nav option, obviously, then it's going to be in here, as well as our CD player and our other media source location. Coming on down to below that, we're going to find our regular manual controls for our climate control. One thing we really liked, we thought was a great idea, is the fan control button is right here. We could go back up in here to the climate control and pull it up, and we could adjust our fan, but this just is a very nice, easy to use, easy to reach. Passenger or driver, either one can reach it. Once you kind of get used to it, you just reach over there and grab it. Below that, we're going to find some more storage with a 12-volt power supply input here. And coming on back is our leather-wrapped gear shift for our 8-speed automatic transmission. We do have a automatic, or we can pull it down into sport and manually shift it. One thing we noticed, that if you're in the sport mode and you're down in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, any gear in the manual mode, and you go to put it in park, you literally have to come back into the drive mode, to the fully automatic mode, to be able to get back to park. You can't go there from the manual positions. We also have our electronic brake here, and we have our selector here for our on-road and off-road, as well as our traction control. We've got another location here for another knob, or possibly a Starbucks thingamajig that's small and fits in there instead of in a regular cup of coffee. And we have here the adjustable cup holders so that any size of cup will fit in here. Bigger ones obviously fit in here as well. Coming on across, we're going to see some more of the aluminum trim as well as our large glove box, and we can see some more storage on our side door panel. Here we have our seats. We've got perforated material here for the heating, and coming on across we have a nice armrest here that's got the textured material, soft, large stitching. Opening it up, we see some deep storage that's lined, and we have another 12-volt power supply as well as an audio input. Again, going on around the interior, looking at the back seat, we can see how the interior scheme, the color scheme, and the material is all carried into the back seat, as well as with the cup holders. So let's take a look at the rest of the vehicle. We're going to look at the rear seat of the Touareg real quick. And again, we've got a 20-40-40 type combination here. We've got this center armrest that folds down and pulls out with the cup holders, or we can push a button and we can drop this thing all the way down. We can easily see how the seats fold down to have cargo space from the rear power liftgate area. We've got the back of the front console here. We've got a nice storage area here that's got some rubber texture on it, like a little mat. Slide things in there and they won't slide around. Our vent controls, and here we've got an additional 115 volt outlet. We can plug in things, as well as a 12 volt.
We're now looking at the interior from the rear power liftgate, and the first thing we're going to see is the removable sliding cover that is easy to slide in to expose the rear cargo area for loading. From this point, we can also see how the seats fold down to make more room for the longer cargo. On the right hand side of the cargo bay, we're going to see the elastic strap that can be used for holding things in place. Under the floorboard, we're going to find our spare tire as well as our jack. We can see that we have cargo tie downs on all four corners of the area, as well as some additional dry storage on the left hand side. Now the cargo cover mat easily pulls back into place and latches down at the end of the track for an out of sight, out of mind, and a push of the button on the power lift gate causes it to close down hands-free. So we'd like to thank you again for visiting the TXAN channel here at the Texas Automotive News Network. We've been reviewing the 2013 Volkswagen Touareg that's running on a really impressive diesel engine under the hood. We had some nice lines on the outside sheet metal. It's got some nice accents from chrome. And we've got a dual exhaust and aluminum spoked wheels to make for a mighty nice ride. So if you get a chance to drive one of these nice vehicles, we highly recommend it. This is Michael Mars for the Texas Automotive News Network, reminding you, travel safe.